Hi guys, Mr. Rothwaffles here. The Call of Duty Zombies comic came out today, Episode 1, Issue 1, and I did a full reading of it on my channel, so if you want to watch that, it's linked in the description down below or on the screen just over there. I'll read the whole thing to you like a bedtime story, but in the comic itself, there are 3 ciphers that have been spotted so far, and one of them has already been solved. I received this information from none other than Kalayo Ryan, or I Pikachu's You on Twitter. He DM'd me, or he messaged me, and he said, Milo, I've figured it out. I plopped the cipher in the comic from the page with Marlton and Misty on the rooftop, and you've got Marlton holding the controller for the drone. You've got Misty saying, looks like you boys could use a hand. It's that particular frame, and the cipher is written on the building just below Marlton, and the cipher itself, when put into a website called QuipQuip, or however you pronounce it, I don't know how you pronounce those words, I'm sure there is a way to do it, but QuipQuip or QuipQuip or something like that, it outputs the solved message. Now, why can it output the solved message? Well, what QuipQuip does is it essentially looks at a message and then tries to substitute letters in that message, the message being the cipher that you've put in. It tries to substitute letters into other letters such that a sentence in proper English would be formed. So if it said XYZ, for example, at the start of a message, you might go, okay, that's a 3-letter word, so maybe those 3 letters, X, Y, and Z, translate to THE for the word the, because a lot of ciphers are going to start with the word the, and it goes through and then gives you a breakdown of all the possible answers that you could get from doing that kind of method, from guessing which letter might translate into which other letter. It's just a substitution cipher, essentially, and in this particular case, it works out fine, and we get the following message. Its knowledge is a curse. So, what the hell does this mean? Because, to be honest, this could relate to a lot of different things. What is it? If it said, his knowledge is a curse, I would say Richtofen. Straight away. Richtofan's knowledge is a curse. Richtofen talks in Revelations about the fact that he is cursed. 100%. He says it explicitly in the map. I believe it's when he's Pack-a-Punching, in fact. He says something along the lines of, I have known I've been cursed for a while or something, but I've come to accept it because, as the old saying goes, only the cursed survive. Now, that is not exactly what he says. I'm trying to remembering it, and as I said that just then, I realized that that was way off the mark, but it's along those lines. He talks about the fact that he is cursed, and he tries to hide it or something because only the cursed survive, which is really interesting, and it would then tie in with this message here very well, because its knowledge being a curse, well, Richtofen is cursed, and so maybe his curse is the knowledge that he bears. He's been saying throughout Black Ops 3, I alone can walk this path. I alone can lead us to salvation. He has been saying constantly that he is the bearer of this knowledge, and it is a great burden, but it is a burden that he's prepared to carry in order to do the right thing for everyone, and secure a better tomorrow for the children, and enact the plan, the vow, in fact, that he made to various people so long ago. That has been Richtofen's goal throughout Black Ops 3. He's been bearing this knowledge, and it has been a curse upon him, and so that would make sense for this particular cipher to relate to him. But the problem that I have with it is that it says its knowledge is a curse. It. Why doesn't it say his knowledge? Richtofen is male, as far as I'm aware. I've just assumed his gender. Whoops. Please don't keyboard warrior me in the comments. Or do, actually. That might be funny. Let's get a Mr. Rothwaffles roast going on down there. But its knowledge is a curse. I just can't help but feel like that doesn't necessarily relate to Richtofen. And so what I think this might actually be referring to is the Chronorium. And the reason I think that is that I think the point of this message is to say that the knowledge within the Chronorium is a curse. And so Richtofen, who has read the Chronorium, has been cursed by it. But it's the Chronorium that has done the cursing, because it's the Chronorium's messages and information and lines of text and pictures and diagrams and knowledge that is cursed. And that is the source of the curse. So I think that that is what it's getting at. It's a very small caveat because it does mean that by association, because Richtofen has read the Chronorium, he too is cursed, and that's completely fine, but I think it's a distinction that we should make because they could have just written his knowledge is a curse and have it relate to Richtofen, or they could give us this slight diversion and say it's the knowledge of the Chronorium itself that is a curse. And so not only will Richtofen be cursed, but any other readers of that book, of that tome, will also become cursed as well. Nero has read the Chronorium. He's cursed. Well, we already knew that because of Shadows of Evil. All 4 of those characters are cursed, but still, it fits right in with our example. The rest of the comics storyline, as the characters move towards Broken Arrow, is going to end up with Richtofen securing the Chronorium with those characters. And so, are the other characters, the transit characters, are they too going to read the Chronorium? And if so, does that then give us a reason why it's their blood that is collected in Alcatraz between Zetsubou no Shima and Revelations, or sorry, Zetsubou no Shima and Gorod Krovi? Is that the reason why we're getting their blood? Because they are cursed. Because they have come into contact with the knowledge of the Chronorium, which, as you can see here, is a curse. I think that's a very viable theory, and we know it's their blood because of stuff that happens in Revelations, and that would then mean that it fits right in with what I was saying at the beginning of this video, because, like I said, only the cursed survive. And so, perhaps, they need cursed blood in order to survive the process that happens at the end of Revelations during the cutscene when things are supposedly supposed to be falling out of existence, to be fading out of existence. Maybe they need cursed blood there specifically in order to divert that process away from them and stay in reality just a little bit longer so they can then complete the loop and become Primus, as they always do. Anyhow, this has been a really fun little video. I actually enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to do. I went into it without really any planning, but just during the video I was like, oh my goodness, this is actually really interesting stuff. I really like this, and the other thing that's great is that this is just getting all of my zombie storyline nerd cylinders firing. I am so down for stuff like this because the comic itself is awesome. Like I said, link in the description down below, and I'm just so happy to be able to be talking about the story in this sort of capacity again because it's been a little while, but it's back, which is great. It's a great feeling. So like the video if you've enjoyed it as well. I've been Mr. Rufflewaffles, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.